We human tend to blame God for our failures and congratulate ourselves for our successes. When we are comfortable, successful, and happy, we have no special need of God. But when we are sick, frightened, poverty stricken, or experiencing the loss of a loved one, we cry out to Him in anguish of soul. We think of so many ways in which it all seems so unfair somehow. Now, there was a man who professed to be an atheist because he couldn't rationalize suffering and the goodness of an all-powerful God. So he wrote, "If I had the power to fashion the universe and remake it nearer my heart desire, there will be no blind, no deaf, no dumb. There will be no crippled, and each child born will live free of disease and possess a mentality capable of withstanding all the rebuffs of life. There will be no death by accident. There will be no earthquakes, cyclones, or tornadoes. Unless and until such a condition comes to pass, and we may live free from disease, sorrow, and suffering, there is no God in this vast universe worthy of homage." At first glance, this may sound like a logical enough position, but on the second thought, what causes blindness, deafness, dumbness, endemic disease? What causes accident? Why do tragedies occur? You see, the atheists didn't consider the element of free moral agency. Since there is a God, and God has created we human beings with a mind, with free choice, He has given us personal control over our own lives. Man has in too many cases invited God out of his life, and God has cooperated. God does not produce cars with defect. God does not force mothers to turn their attention to morning sitcoms or soaps while their children stray from the yard to dash into the street after a rolling ball. God does not produce careless and indifferent workmanship. God is not the one who causes accident. Men are. Yet when accidents occur, man is quick to call out to God for relief, sometimes bitterly indicting a seemingly uncaring deity for aloofness. But the question is it God who is aloof, or we human who ignore Him and His will in our life? Would you want God interfering in your personal life on a daily basis? Just think about it. If you smoke, would you like God to prevent it? Try to imagine the scene. If someone who smoked was not necessarily an atheist, but not devoutly religious either. And let's say this smoker believes God may exist, perhaps even goes to church at times or watches a religious TV program now and then thinks he has all the bases covered. But one day he tries to reach for his shirt pocket to extract a cigarette. Suddenly, his hand is stopped short of his shirt by some invisible and powerful force. He is shocked, wondering if he is having seizure or a cramp. He tries with the other hand. Just as he is about to extract the pack, his arm is stopped in mid-air by a powerful, unseen force. Now, let's take this scene a step further. He seizes the arm with his other hand and tries to guide it to his shirt pocket. Again, some compelling force stops him from reaching his cigarette. He calls to a friend and asks him to reach his cigarette. His friend tries it, only to be stopped by some sort of seizure. They look at each other in dumbfounded amazement. The smoker bends over, shakes his shirt, and the cigarette falls to the floor. He tries to reach them, but he can't. Some power prevents it. Sobbing in desperation by what is happening, he asks his friend to light up and blow smoke in his face. The friend lights a cigarette and tries to blow smoke into his face, but the smoke simply disappears as it comes out of his mouth. Our smoker, bewildered, frightened, angry, and frustrated, throws himself to the ground in a mindless frenzy, and finally is carried to a padded cell and placed in a straitjacket so he can't hurt himself or commit suicide. Unrealistic, isn't it? Not when you think about it. Apply the same scene to a developing affair between a married person and a friend. What if their attempt at physical contact were somehow barred by the inversion of a powerful force or an invisible presence? What if God prevented us from doing anything which was going to be harmful to us? It might give us better health, prolong our life, prevent accidents, but it will also remove our free moral agency. It will take away volition and make us into a robot or an automation. Watch out for part 3.